Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Wednesday, December the 30th. We are almost done with 2020. Woohoo! But first, we celebrate Bacon Day. Is it worth waiting for?
Who doesn't love bacon?
I think it was worth waiting for. So today is the day to enjoy bacon in any variety you can. My favorite would be cooked, but whatever you want to do. Falling Needles Family Fest Day. I don't know what that is.
Falling Needles Family Fest.
Yeah, Falling Needles Family Fest Day. National Bicarbonate of Soda Day today as well. You know, you got to celebrate that sometime, so why not today, right? I'm excited to talk to my guest. This is actually pretty cool. Dr. Mayor, and she's on the Travel Channel on a little program called Expedition Bigfoot, and they're out looking for Bigfoot. And
You're one that believes that there's a Bigfoot.
I do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like 100 years ago, it was like 150 years ago, they didn't believe that gorillas existed. And then all of a sudden, now we see them in zoos. And so I think it's like just a North American gorilla. So I'll share my theory with her. We'll see. That's all coming your way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Survey by Google Trends found that the coronavirus was the #1 Google search word of the year, followed by election results.
Yeah, I bet.
Those are the two biggies for 2020. Also, there's a study they can stop doing anytime they want to. It says when you use a hand dryer in a restroom, fecal bacteria is blown all over the bathroom, onto your hands and onto your clothing. So they're saying maybe stop using the hand dryers.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I'm not a fan. But I also don't like it. Like there are some where they'll have like a big cloth thing that just kind of rotate. I'm not a big fan of that.
Oh, gosh, no. And
Like, just give me a
there
paper
aren't
towel.
those very many places at all
Yeah, you don't see them hardly.
anymore.
I don't know if I've seen one probably for a year at least. But
No, you don't see those really anymore.
it's probably not even a possibility after coronavirus.
I don't think that's a thing.
Surveys
Maybe
and studies.
old gas stations every once in
Yeah.
a while. If you go in, they've still got one of those things inside, but
Yeah. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. An intoxicated minor who was driving with a loaded AR-15 in his lap told police that he carried the assault weapon because he, quote, has seen crazy stuff since moving to Florida, end quote. Got there from Alabama, by the way. Police report the 20-year-old Caleb Kleiss was involved in a traffic altercation while driving his 2016 Volkswagen near a Clearwater apartment. Police say that he had the barrel of the gun sticking out of the vehicle's driver's side window.
I was going to say, I don't see a problem with him owning one if he wasn't restricted, but
he was,
there we go.
And he was under the influence. He shouldn't be driving or
No.
playing with a gun. But he had the gun off his lap, pointed out the window at one point.
Not
He was standing
okay.
near his car, which was parked and running outside a laundromat. He was reportedly highly intoxicated. After being read his rights, police told he told the police rather that he carried the AR-15 for self-defense, and that he, quote, had seen some crazy stuff since moving to Florida. Charged with driving, improper exhibition of a dangerous weapon, and using a firearm while under the influence.
Yikes.
So, not good, but that is what happens when
Alcohol
your
and
brain...
firearms never mix.
No, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com. I've got the first 5 today. I'm going to share the next 5 tomorrow. I have the 2020 top 10 celebrity homes.
Okay.
I decided to save these for the very end of the year. So we're going to start at number 10, Elvis Presley. He's already at his peak of popularity when he picked Look magazine's House of Tomorrow for he and Priscilla. This was in Los Angeles, 1967. The current owners have it listed for $2.5 million, and it was immediately snapped up. Britney Spears, she had a home that went up for sale. She bought it in 2007 after she and Kevin Federline divorced. It sold for $2 million less than she paid for it. New owners just put the home on the market for $6.5 million. Number 8 on the list, America mourns the loss of Regis Philbin. His home sold in 2020, just a few weeks before he died. So he was selling the home before he died. Jennifer Lawrence sold her stunning New York penthouse in 2020 for $9.9 million. Number 6 on the list, singer-songwriter Mark Anthony. One of the largest homes in South Florida, 20,000 square feet, $27 million. That was number 6. Tomorrow, we're going to have the top 5. So if you want to hear the rest, and you can see all of them, I've got the entire list in the show notes for today and tomorrow at johnandheidishow.com. Please support local businesses right now. I understand you can click a mouse or tap your finger on a phone screen and buy things from a faraway place, and they'll bring it right to your door. But your neighbors and your friends right up the street, they need your help right now. So many businesses are hurting. If you're buying gifts anyway, please support local businesses. You can buy a gift card from your favorite restaurant and then give that as a gift. And you're really giving 2 gifts, one to your loved one and one to the people who work at that restaurant. Take the gift card challenge today at giftcardchallenge.org. Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org. 2 shoppers in Germany were hospitalized following a brawl that involved the use of salami and Parmesan cheese as weapons. Incident began as a tug-of-war over an empty cart in a parking lot. Punches were thrown. When one of the 2 men went into the store, the other followed. He grabbed a salami. That's when the other man grabbed a wedge of sharp Parmesan cheese to use as a knife to jab at the man. Does not say who won, but don't ever do that. Bad plan. So exactly when did we as humans learn that no 2 snowflakes are alike?
I learned that as a child.
Wilson A. Bentley is the man that generally is credited with figuring this out by adapting a microscope to a bellows camera. He became... this all came together in 1885, by the way. The first person to photograph a single snow crystal is when he did this, 1885. He went on to photograph 5,000 snowflakes over 40 years, never found a perfect match between them. Ironically, Wilson died of pneumonia after walking home through a blizzard in 1931.
Oh, that's sad.
He's not looking at snowflakes. They say dogs are man's best friend. Well, a new survey says maybe. Take a listen to this. Here's how Americans feel about their pets. 69% of Americans have at least one pet in their home, with 45% having dogs, 35% having cats, 9% having fish. Being the most commonly owned pets among adults, again, would be dogs on the top of the list here. Seems that dogs, cats, fish, and birds and other animals are quite well loved. 88% of American pet owners say they consider their pets to be a member of the family.
100%.
And according to Harvard Medical School, a study there says men who drank the most coffee had a 60% lower risk of prostate cancer than men who did not drink any coffee.
Really?
Yeah, that's good news.
That's a nice study.
They say the caffeine in the coffee does not play a role in reducing the risk of prostate cancer. It's the coffee's many biological active compounds like antioxidants and minerals. If you want to feel less stressed out, get off social media. According to a study of students, they found those who dumped social media services like Facebook and whatnot were 33% less stressed.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
I would agree with that, too.
And one last thing here. What's important in a relationship, Heidi? Me time. The survey revealed 85% say getting time for yourself on a regular basis is a key to a healthy relationship. 82% report that getting the proper amount of me time makes their relationship stronger. 58% say they actively encourage their partners to spend some time away from them. Go away. Go do something else. According to the results, the ideal amount of time, me time, 51 minutes a day. Having me time was actually found to be more important to Americans than having date nights with their partner. I think Heidi would agree. We are together a lot.
I don't need that much per day. I do encourage you to go do something by yourself once a week.
We live together. She's my wife. We drive together most places. We work together. We eat together, we sleep together, we a lot of things together.
Yeah.
And there are times that she just needs me to leave. So
Well, I encourage you to go and get a hobby, and you get a hobby, and then now every time you leave for your hobby, you should come with me.
Come with.
You
It's a lot
don't
of
ever
fun.
come with me to do things. I'm like, this is supposed to be your hobby.
just get out of the house. Okay.
Go away.
Okay. Thanks for listening to your scoop of the day on the John and Heidi Show. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with Dr. Mireya Mayor, and we've got the search continuing for Bigfoot, Expedition Bigfoot, returning on a travel channel. And Dr. Mayor, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
So for people who have not had a chance to see this program, let's talk a little bit about Expedition Bigfoot and what we're going to be tuning in to see here.
Well, what's great about people who haven't seen it yet is that there's a new 1-hour special premiering on Sunday, January 3rd at 8 called New Evidence. And that's where we are reviewing and reevaluating the evidence that we found last year. And following right after that at 9 p.m. is the premiere of Season 2. Plus, there's all these new ways to watch it. I mean, you have Travel Channel, of course, but then there's Discovery Plus, which it'll be streaming on there on January 4th, so you can watch the second season, but also catch up on the first season, because that'll be on there as well. For those who haven't watched and are listening now, all I can tell you is, as a scientist who has gone all over the world looking for animals that are either very poorly studied, never studied, or in one case I discovered the world's smallest primate, so never seen before. This was a really exciting project. I was looking for evidence and hard facts and going in, and all I can say is that what we found out there truly shocked me.
This is one of those topics where people are very divided. When you talk about things like Bigfoot, there are some people who go, oh, that's just a bunch of phooey. And there's other people who absolutely positively believe. And there's some people who have even seen something that they believe is a Bigfoot. When you talk to people, do you get some that look at you like you're crazy? And then other people that look at you like, this lady's the smartest in the world? It's got to be kind of an interesting place to be right in the middle of that.
It's a very divided camp and very passionate on both sides. And I've been caught in the middle several times, sometimes by scientists themselves who say, what are you doing out there? And then by very passionate people who say Bigfoot is out there. My stance on it is this. As a scientist, I went into this field because I'm driven by the possibility of discovery and exploration. And when you're out there, even if you don't find exactly what you're looking for, you could find something else. So for me, exploration is always worth it. But what I will say is this, based on previous expeditions I've done, there have been several animals where people had reported them, but they hadn't been studied, and I used eyewitness accounts to lead me to them. And so I feel that the eyewitness accounts is actually something that can't be dismissed or undermined, and we get more than tens of thousands of reports every year of sightings, and all, for me, to make this worth it, all you need is for one of those to be true, to make this a worthwhile search. So I really listened to the witnesses. There's a lot of information, of course, in Native American folklore. This is also how scientists have been able to discover other fossil species and other species that we now know are true that at one point were just myths. So what I'm hoping is that we can take this out of the books of legend and into the science books.
And when you think about this, it was just a little over 100 years ago that gorillas were in the same category, weren't they? Where they were legend, but nobody had really seen one and captured one and had one. So, now we take for granted that gorillas are a thing. Nobody disputes that. You go to a zoo and see them. So could this be like a North American gorilla?
Funny thing about gorillas, because you're absolutely right. That's what we know as the world's largest primate. And Western lowland gorillas were only discovered 140 years ago. So when you look at something like that, and the other part to that, actually, I will mention is I've stood right next to Western lowland gorillas in the Congo. And there are times where I've had one or even a group of these gorillas, which weigh hundreds of pounds, and I did not, and my trackers did not know they were there for quite a long time. I mean, animals have an amazing way of staying quiet, of camouflaging, and really not revealing themselves if they don't want to. And that was the other exciting part about this last expedition we did, which you'll see in season 2, is that we were able to go out there during these, very crazy, unprecedented times of a global pandemic. And what made that so unique is that we started seeing behaviors of animals all over the world changing and being very strange, and animals that we hadn't seen in many years turning up, animals that are usually very shy and elusive turning up in major cities. So this was like a really unique time in history to go out and search for this.
We appreciate you taking some time to chat with us about it today. I'm going to throw a link to all the information so folks can find it. Thank you again, Dr. Mayor.
Thank you so much. Have a great one.
Absolutely. Again, Expedition Bigfoot returns Sunday, January 3rd on Travel Channel, and there's also a 1-hour premiere ahead of that. I'm going to throw a link to all the information so you can get all caught up. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Any amount of running significantly lowers your risk of death from any cause.
I thought we just read recently that running wasn't necessarily good for you. Didn't we just do a different study that said
Probably.
that? I thought we did.
They're saying any amount of running significantly lowers your death from any cause. I would say especially from like bear attacks.
Or from axe murderers.
Yeah. Or anything that could be chasing you.
Yeah.
So they're saying, according to this one, running's good for you. Heidi remembers running's bad for you. But running, 2 out of 3 doctors may agree that it's good. Thanks for listening to today's Fun Fact. If you have a credit card, our friends at bettercreditcards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to bettercreditcards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com. Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline Guyana. I don't think we've ever had a story from Guyana.
I don't think we have.
Here it is, though. In Guyana, a teenage girl screamed when 2 men entered her home. She and her grandmother were wrestling with the intruders when neighbors came to their rescue. The outraged citizens caught one of the men and used their own duct tape to stick him to a utility pole until police arrived.
Good.
I love
for
that.
them. I do too.
That is such a great idea. You know, they didn't beat him to death. They didn't hurt him. They just taped him to a pole. When the
Good
cops
for
got
them.
there, the cops were like, hey, what you doing?
Yeah.
Just hanging out, huh?
Good for them.
Yeah,
Sticking
it's-
up for the people in the hood.
Yeah, sticking up, she said. He duct taped him to a pole. All right, thanks for listening to a news headline from somewhere in this world. Please support local businesses right now. I understand you can click a mouse or tap your finger on a phone screen and buy things from a faraway place, and they'll bring it right to your door. But your neighbors and your friends right up the street, they need your help right now. So many businesses are hurting. If you're buying gifts anyway, please support local businesses. You can buy a gift card from your favorite restaurant and then give that as a gift. And you're really giving 2 gifts, one to your loved one and one to the people who work at that restaurant. Take the gift card challenge today at giftcardchallenge.org. Now some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. The history's oldest excuse for not having your homework done is what? What do you say?
Dog ate my homework.
Well, a pair of peckish pups in the Philippines were caught in the act, eating their human brother's homework. In a clip captured by security cameras in a home, Darren James Lambin and his cousin J.B. Barrett were asleep when apparently the hungry husky crept into the dark room where his pug pal was already waiting. The larger dog, Sam, can be seen sniffing around the room before coming across some sheets of paper on a desk.
Oh, that's so
Where
funny.
a PlayStation controller was being used as a paperweight, but it didn't work. The dog handily dragged the documents down to the ground and began tearing away. Soon Sam, the smaller dog, could be seen grappling with what turned out to be the teenager's homework. Oh, the smaller dog name is Mayor, so Sam and Mayor.
Okay.
Schoolmates were reportedly confused to find their work shredded on the floor when they woke up. Wasn't until they viewed the footage to realize what had happened. And yes, the dog had literally
Dog ate my homework.
eaten their homework.
Oh, that's funny. Good luck
It is
getting your
funny.
teacher to believe that.
Well,
Thankfully,
they got
they
it on
had
video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you
Oh,
got it.
that's funny.
It's today's weird news. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. I don't even know if it's fair to call this a moment of duh, but it's kind of a moment of oops. A human rights group leader's pants fell down during an appearance with the Croatian president.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Ivan Zvonimir Sisic, probably got all that wrong, and I apologize. President of Croatian Helsinki Committee for Human Rights quickly pulled his pants back up. They had fallen all the way to his ankles during a photo shoot with the country's first female president.
Oh, wow.
The two were at an event in the walk-up to the International Human Rights Day, December 10th. So this happened early in December. And that is when he appears to have kept a completely straight face during the little slip-up, at least in all the photos that can be seen online. And his pants, for whatever reason, fell to his ankles.
He must have forgot his suspenders that day.
Apparently. I can only imagine how embarrassing that would be.
Oh, that would be so
That
embarrassing.
would be so bad. This is today's moment of duh. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Fake news or Florida? A Florida dog was pulled over for driving a riding lawnmower on a highway. Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say fake news.
And you are 100% correct.
Yeah.
Guess who made that one up?
Was that you?
It was me. I was trying to find a good one in here, and I was running out of time, so I was pinched for time.
So.
And now you guys see just how not good at this I am. So it always makes me just smile when somebody sends me a nice one, and, then I get to tell my wife she's wrong. Doesn't happen very
What's your
often.
favorite thing to
It
do?
is. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org, and that is a challenge that's going on again, and it's going to continue to go on for a while. Hopefully someday this challenge can go away and everything will feel better.
Be lovely.
But boy, there's still a lot of folks that are hurting right now. So
Yeah.
again, if you have the means and you'd like to be involved in that, giftcardchallenge.org. Take a listen to this, Heidi. A customer in Ohio leaves a $5,600 tip to be split amongst all of the restaurant staff for Christmas.
Wow.
Holy Toledo.
Wow.
It happened in Toledo. And it says on here, the amount that they were charged for what they were purchasing was 1 cent. So I don't
Okay.
think they bought anything. But the guest would like to remain anonymous. And this happened at a place in Toledo, Ohio. It's a place called Soak Mediterranean Kitchen and Bar. December the 12th.
What on earth could you possibly get for 1 cent?
I don't think anything. But they just said, "Hey, can I use my card? And what do you need? Just run it for a penny, apparently." And then they wrote on the tip line $5,600, and there's 28 staff members. Each one gets $200.
Wow.
What an amazing kindness, a gesture of kindness this is.
Yeah, what a blessing.
They opened the restaurant just a little over a year ago, but like many, this has been a tough year.
Yeah.
And they said there were a lot of tears. I'm tearing up right now talking about it as he was saying this to the TV station. He says, your restaurant staff becomes your family and everybody cares about each other. I've been staying out of the kitchen to give more employees some hours so I can get them through the holidays and, get the gifts put under their tree for their kids. He said this was just super huge for us. It was a very unexpected act of kindness that has restored hope for many people in
That's awesome.
Toledo, Ohio. It says the words "thank you" seem inadequate for this gift.
Oh, absolutely. What do you say? You can't.
But then he goes on to say, but thank you, Billy, for your generous spirit. So it was a person named Billy, I'm assuming.
I thought they wanted to remain anonymous.
I thought so, too. I love that, though. It's really cool. That reminds me of one of my favorite stories.
I know what you're going to say.
I was doing a radiothon, and somebody who wanted to remain anonymous got their name put on the radio. I was like, well, that didn't go well. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.